really is not that important right now at this water temperature down in the 50s and 60s. I've seen water temperature from 54 all the way up to 63, 9-degree variance depending on where you are. 54 all the way up to 63 degrees, and that's today. We can get some places where that sun's shining on the water, and it's probably going to be maybe even warmer than that this afternoon. I don't know. Getting close to afternoon right now. It is afternoon, 2 minutes after 12. I am hung up. I am hung up. I am fishing Lake 10 Killer today, and I definitely was hung up. I had my American Original Deep Smoothie hung up on a rock right there. We are fishing a cold, windy, now it doesn't seem like it's windy right now because I'm back behind a bluff. We are fishing a cold, windy, early winter day. Oh, there's a fish right there too. Oh, I got my favorite crankbait on, American Original Deep Smoothie. That fish must be foul hooked. He's pulling pretty hard. I don't think he's that big. Might be foul. Oh, it's a catfish. Looky there, it's a catfish. And we're catfishing on Lake 10 Killer. I've caught literally thousands of catfish out of this lake. That's why that dude was fighting so hard. I'm talking about literally thousands of them. And that right there is a nice eating forked tail, called a channel cat a forked tail. I've caught literally thousands of them out of this lake, thousands of them. I paid my way through college selling catfish, caught bunches and bunches of them. Now I've had a few strikes that I've missed, and that's probably what happened. Probably been the channel cat that's hitting my crankbait. Just think that deep smoothie's a shad, and sometimes you catch a big flathead on these baits. I've caught several of those. Flathead pretty much eat only live bait, and so one thing about a channel cat, the way that God built them, if you hook them, you don't lose them very often unless they twist off. I'm gonna tear my hooks up on my bait. Definitely. Ah, that's why they call them a forked tail right here. See that? Now, bullhead and a flathead, they have a straight tail, but a forked tail, channel cat's got a forked tail. And that's what they call them right there. I'll pass. Okay, I think, guys and girls, I think we need a little hook surgery. What do you think? We have two on there, it's pretty good. Probably I'll just cut that one off. Get the fish on there, it's probably gonna break. But this one's been a little bit, but this one's been a lot. Probably I'll just cut it off. I'm gonna try to bend it back a little bit. It might be the one hook that catches a 7-pounder. I've got my barb smashed down on this bait, and it was still, even when my barb smashed down, it was hard to get that fish. God, those some good hooks. All right, let's catch another one. Well, we might catch a variety. We might catch white bass, black bass, spotted bass, Kentucky bass, smallmouth bass, catfish, channel cat. Might catch a flathead. You can't ever tell. Oh, there's one. Stop boat. Pretty nice little fish out there. Pretty nice little fish out there. It's like a spot. Ah, largemouth. Largemouth, yeah. Now that is a little bit more like 10 killer bass. Kind of a scrubby looking thing, isn't he? Looks like he's got, I don't know what he looks like he's got. His skin don't look too good though. Got a little bit of a skin problem. He hit out there in about 8 foot of water. Look at the sides of him. Not kissing him. Not putting my hand near my mouth either. Just to be honest with you, I thought he was the best fish in the lake. I don't care how ugly he was, because he bit my bait. I hit my spot lock right there. One of the things you want to do anytime you catch a fish, hit your spot lock and make another cast there. There might be a rock under there. There might be something under there that, looky there, another one. You think that one jumped in the boat? Exact same spot. This is a spot, I think. Yeah. And that's the reason. That's the reason you want to hit your spot lock right there. That's the spot right there. Got that teeth on his tongue. Yep. Exact same cast, exact same angle, everything. You want to be able to do that. And one of the things that happened, this water dropped down to where I'm out here in 10 foot of water. And the 10 foot of water is up pretty close to the bank. So that bait's coming out there, and it's got a little drop about halfway between me and the bank. And that's where both of those fish were. But you see, you hit that spot lock, and even with that wind blowing, I'm sitting right here in the same spot and not moving. The very next cast, I caught another fish. Now, it wasn't a prize, but that fish just as easily, put that on there, and you can see that says 7 foot there. There's one. Woohoo! One of the things, though, that some of those little bitty tiny ones I've been catching, been pretty skinny. That's a healthy little bass right there. You know, you can almost go to any bridge pilings on any lake, anywhere in the country, and catch fish. Might not necessarily be bass, but many times it is going to be. Might not necessarily be big ones, but many times they are. Some of these lakes, it's got lots of bridge pilings and lots of bass. And bridge pilings are kind of like any other kind of structure. You'll have certain bridge pilings that pay off and some that don't. There might be 5 or 6 bridge pilings going across a creek or a river, and maybe only 1 or 2 of those bridge pilings have fish. Generally, it's the bridge pilings that are closest to the bank, generally, but not always. I've got a couple over the bridge on Table Rock Lake that in 2 or 3 different tournaments over there, I've gone right to that one piling with a spinnerbait and caught a 2 or 3 pound spotted bass, a nice spotted bass, to start the tournament right off the bat. And sometimes I would catch 2 or 3 keepers off of that one bridge piling. Now there was another bridge piling on that bridge where I could catch a few, but that one was just automatic, generally first throw. And I'm talking about bringing that spinnerbait down through there and a 2 or 3 pounder, not a little Kentucky bass. And I'd catch little ones off of it too, but there'd usually be a big one bite right off the bat. I mean, I've passed an awful lot of places where there we go. Might be a crappie, sort of feels like a crappie. Might even be a white bass. Set my spot lock. Oh, it's a crappie. Nice crappie. Crappie magic, caught a crappie. That's a real nice, pretty eating size crappie right there. He's very, very lucky. I'm here where Sherry could cook for me. I probably ought to throw him in a live well in case I throw back out there and catch 4 or 5 more in a row, which is always possible. Little bass come up and grab that crappie magic, right, a little spotted bass. He says, what am I doing up here in the air? I was in the water and I jumped at this thing and it's flying off with me. He ate it. I mean, he ate it. Little spot. I'm seeing a whole bunch of something down there. There's one. Talked that one into biting. Boy, he was way down there on the bottom. I mean, way down on the bottom. I guess a lot of those fish I'm seeing down there must be crappie. This feels like a crappie. I don't know if it is or not. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it's a crappie. That is a crappie right there. Woo. God, look at that slab. Careful, buddy. I'm going to let you go. Look at that slab. He said, I'm going to let myself go, Jimmy. If you'll leave me alone, I'll let myself go. Look at the size of that slab. That's a giant right there. You are very lucky, slab. Boy, I was deep, deep, deep. I'm seeing a lot of fish down there on my Garmin Live Scope. Maybe I'm coming up above them. And I actually caught that one. I let it go all the way to the bottom. And then I was coming out through there and Actually bumped into a couple stuff, and then I missed a fish. And then got that big guy. Big girl. Big girl. Woo! There's one. That's like a white bass or a bluegill or a bass or something there. I saw 3 fish out there. They're probably small bass. Probably spotted bass, Kentuckies. We're fixing to find out. Way down there, I know that. A drum. You're liable to catch anything, and that's what they were drum. It reminds me of my buddy Joe Hall, who owned Blakemore Roadrunners for years. He would not even mess with a drum that small. He catches giant drums everywhere he goes. Doesn't matter. Crappie fishing, bass fishing, white bass fishing, walleye fishing, Joe catches drum. Drum champion of the world. Here we go again. Another drum. Hey, I might be getting in Joe Hall's league. Another drum. Crappie magic, drum magic today. Drum magic. There we go. I'm a quick learner. Drum, drum-de-dum-dum. I'm gonna go over real quick, fish that piling. A little crappie or a little bass, a little something or other. Is it spotted bass? I said I'm really funny. We didn't catch any little spotted bass off this bridge. About that time we caught one. All right, we caught teeny ones, tiny ones, and we caught some really big crappie. We caught a couple, 2 or 3 nice bass. Lake 10 killer, you can always have a lot of fun fishing. And no matter where you are, if you're having a hard time catching them, get you a little crappie magic jig, a little swimming minnow or a lucky bug, and fish around some bridge pilings. You're gonna have some fun. More than likely, catching up fish for dinner. Guys and girls, have you a great one out there. And remember, golly, I sure do love you.